In this video, I'm going to talk about breath support for singers. The difference between breath support for singers and breath support for a person who talks is that the singer sustains his voice. So we must learn how to sustain very well. Then we can decide how much to use it. But if we don't have any ability to sustain, it will be hard for you to become a singer. Now, first of all, breath support. We talk about breath, right? So immediately we will think about the chest cage, the rib cage here. The rib cage is rigid, so it will maintain the size of your lungs, so you won't collapse, so to say. So it will maintain the size so that when the air comes in or goes out, it will have force to accommodate it or press it out. But the action of the rib cage is large, so it will expel air very fast, a lot of air very fast, and suck in air very fast. Now, in order to phonate, to make sound, we must make use of the vocal folds. And the only opening into and out of the lungs is the vocal folds. The vocal folds for men is nickel size, and for women is a dime size. So for a dime size, the breath then is not going to flow out a lot at the same time. So, but if you breathe too hard, you cannot breathe a lot of air at the same time. So in order to breathe properly, one has to regulate the airflow, and that's what the diaphragm is about. The diaphragm is half dome size. This is the front, this is the back. And when the diaphragm is constricted, like this, it will draw air in right away because the rib cage would not come in fast enough. So this kind of effect is called the diaphragmatic spasm, is causing a hiccup. So hiccup is actually air coming in too fast, the wrong way. The wrong way means the valve, when you come in like this, it will force it to close. So that's the hiccup effect, like ha, ha, is what happens. Now, when you breathe for singing, you must allow, first of all, the rib cage not to interfere with a very subtle, very even flow of air, which will produce a sustaining voice. Now that work has only been able to be maintained or done by the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a sheath muscle. So therefore, you must coordinate the diaphragm so that it will give you a very even and subtle breath flow. Now to do that, I must illustrate. First of all, in order to let the diaphragm work effectively to control the airflow, which is a sheath muscle, you must control the movement of the rib cage. See, if the rib cage is not moving, the diaphragm would have to work. Then when it works, because it is a sheath muscle, it will effect a very even flow through your glottis here. The vocal folds, the hole here, is called glottis. Now, in order to do that, we must know why we have to do that. The rib cage, when it expands, it draws in a lot of air, which the opening here, the trachea or the glottis cannot accommodate. So the diaphragm is normally, when the rib cage is expanded, will come up in order to avoid the hiccup effect, and then slowly come down. The problem with a lot of singers, or even talkers, speakers, is like this. When they raise the chest, then it says the diaphragm goes in. Not much air exchange. So if for a good breather or singer who uses his breath effectively, we must raise the chest and expand the diaphragm up right afterwards. Or even expand the diaphragm immediately, which pushes your stomach and other organs out, so your tummy becomes a little bigger, like this. And then when you breathe in, breathe out, it will move more evenly, comfortably, effecting a very smooth airflow and subtle airflow. Now, what we want to do is to let the diaphragm to do its work, and the rib cage accommodates it. To do that, I suggest that we assume a certain posture. This posture is able to disable part of the action of the rib cage so the diaphragm would work. Now, by doing so, we must program our mind to direct the body to do this subconsciously. So that means a lot of practice. Now, in order to assume this posture, we can raise our hands up. Now, raising our hands up, as you will see, if you do it right now, you'll feel that there is tension in the back muscle, around this muscle, which pulls on the rib cage, so the rib cage cannot move that much. It's hard to move like this, but when you like this, the rib cage can move a lot. So watch also too. If my rib cage is directing the airflow, the diaphragm then is going opposite direction. For example, I'm expanding my chest. Okay, this goes in. When I press down, tummy goes up. So normally many people sing like that. They press down, the tummy goes up, and they try to regulate the flow. But this is not directly controlling your breath process. In order to learn how to use the diaphragm effectively and let the rib cage to accommodate the diaphragm, we must then assume a certain process, and as you breathe, you think about what the diaphragm is doing. So what we do is, first of all, form a little slit in your lips. It's the size of a dime or nickel. This way, what you do is breathe out air and breathe in like this. You will realize when you breathe out air like this, you can last a long time. But because that is how your vocal folds work. So they work to produce sound. So you're supposed to keep a very even and subtle flow through the vocal folds. Try this every day, 10-15 times, okay? Regularly, 2 times a day, 10-15 times. When you do it, you think about a diaphragm. But breathe in. You'll notice this is tightening. It's tightening. In fact, when you do it many times, these muscles in the stomach are going to give you some pain. That's good because it's going to burn all the fat away. Okay. Now, when you breathe, make sure that you are using the diaphragm as a leader. The rib cage follows along. So when you sing, you can actually practice singing like this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. You see? I'm supporting with an even flow. It's much better than amazing grace. It's going to allow you, make you use your mucous membrane, which I'll explain in the next video, to grind. Once you grind, you get a hoarse voice. So teachers start Monday good, Tuesday little hoarse, Wednesday hoarse, Thursday very hoarse, Friday no voice. And the rest of 2 days of rest wouldn't help you. So by about like one month or two, your voice is gone. So in fact, if you breathe very well, you can talk a long time. And then using technique of phonation and resonance, you're going to be able to sing or talk 3, 4, 5 hours a day without getting hurt. So Monday is as fresh as Friday. See? So now, also make sure that you know when you breathe, breathing should be a relaxation exercise. In other words, when you first sing, you were relaxing and very nice. After an hour singing, you get very tired. If you breathe properly, each breath is going to relax you and revitalize you, start you afresh. So therefore, make sure when you sing, you breathe enough. Breathe more, maybe up to 90%, and sing it all the way down to 20%, 15%, and maintain the same flow. Now that can be done only by raising your arm, breathing like that. Then after a while doing this, you lower your arm and maintain the same chest position. Breath then comes in, very, very flexible. So remember, breath is life. And also breath is life for singers, because when you take a breath regularly in the right places, exercising control of breath, phraseology, and so forth, only take breath in after you finish a phrase, then you regulate your airflow. When you regulate it very well, you'll be a good singer. Breath is life. Breath saves a singer. Breath rejuvenates a singer. Breath makes a singer tirelessly singing. Breath also makes a teacher able to use dynamic in his voice and able to talk longer without getting tired. Now remember, Raise your arm first to practice every day until you program yourself to breathe diaphragmatically when the diaphragm is leading, not the chest cage. Then when you walk around, you talk and you sing using your diaphragm, then your voice can reach very far and activating resonance and so forth, which is in the next video. And good luck to you, and practice breathing every day because air is free of charge. In this video, I will explain the phonation process for a singer. Before we do that, we must explain what phonation means. Phonation means the making of sound, the creating of sound. Sound comes from vibration. So phonation, the word phonation is made of a combination word made of one basic word, which is called phone. Sound is made into a verb, so phonation. For a human voice, the phonation process happens between your vocal folds. That means the vocal folds vibrate. The vocal fold does not vibrate like this, but it vibrates on each other. There are two sides of the vocal fold vibrates on each other. We must be very careful when you vibrate that you do not grind your mucous membrane below. Mucous membrane is soft material. It has nerve endings, also blood vessels in that area. On the vocal folds, there is none such thing. So when the vocal folds vibrate, you do not feel something touching or vibrating, but rather you feel that when you use the mucous membrane, you will definitely feel vibration. Like for example, when you clear your throat, you go and you feel it. If you try it, you will know that there are two things coming together. But when you talk, when you sing or talk, you do not feel anything touching or grinding. Now this is important because when you grind your mucous membrane below, like this, and below, it will thicken, it will hurt the skin there, and then thicken the vocal folds, then it will make your voice hoarse. Air will come through, then you will start prematurely the phonation process. At the same time, it will rupture your mucous membrane. So never sing like Louis Armstrong. That is grinding purely the vocal fold, mucous membrane. Now the vocal folds, when they vibrate like this, the vibration is caused by airflow coming through from below. When it comes through from below, it flips like a flag, flips in air. Both sides flip on each other, creating a tone, a sound. Therefore, we do not call it a vocal cord because this is not really a vocal cord. It is a fold that flip easily. The skin is very thin, and you have liquid, jelly-like muscle, and then towards the fourth layer, it will be the vocalis muscles. The vocalis muscles put the vocal fold in the proximity, and then the skin of the vocal fold, which has no nerve ending, no feeling, it begin to flip. That's phonation. Now there are two kinds of phonation basically. The first terminology that describes phonation is what we call onset, O-N-S-E-T. Onset is where the vocal folds begin to vibrate on each other like this. That's onset. One vibration is like this. One vibration. So basically, like middle C is 226. Like that. It's 226 vibrations per second, flipping very fast. The onset is important because we do not want the onset to be strong. It should be light. It should be light. If it is strong, it is going to be called a vocal plosive. So anytime when you talk, use any word that starts with a vowel, you will have what we call a glottoplosive. The glottis means the opening between your vocal folds is called the glottis. So glottis, a glottoplosive, like this, Now this kind of exploding phonation is easily hurting your vocal folds. So you want to have the onset really light so it would not be a plosive. Plosive is going to hurt your voice, but we do use that, but use them very carefully. like I am ugly. You don't say I am ugly, but what do you say? I am ugly. So that will be easier for your vocal folds. Then the phonation process also changes when you go up really high. When you go up to a middle range like the C or D, you begin to feel some tension in the vocal folds. Normally, if your vocal folds are thinner and shorter, your feeling of tightening of the vocal folds is going to be much higher. But when you are baritone, you probably by B or C you begin to tightening a little bit. By D and E, you're going to tighten. The reason is the vocal folds need to vibrate faster. But then the vocal folds cannot vibrate that fast. It will close the front and the rear. The front right here, you can touch it like a V-shaped thing. The front and the rear is closed. So this closing action allows the vocal folds to vibrate with a shorter distance, shorter length. So the pitch that you want to produce could be produced easier. However, this tightening is going to trigger your other muscles to tighten up too. So therefore we have what we call a vocal fatigue. Which happens when your breath is not able to go through the tightening vocal folds in a smaller opening, not enough to produce that particular pitch, probably on D, on E flat, or E, or F. Then the vocal folds begin to be tightened even more. When you tighten even more, you will trigger the other muscles to be tightened. So your shoulder muscle will be tightened while doing so. So therefore, breath support is number one in singing. Phonation is number two. If the breath support is not strong enough to set the vibration, then the vocal fold will have to tighten more. The more it tightens, the more trigger the other muscles to tighten up. So you will end up really tight and can't hit the high notes. Therefore, we must allow the vocal folds to do its job, to vibrate in the most natural way, without additional pressure. Now, this can be done by more support, breath support. Now, when you cross up higher to a higher note, you need to work with what we call registers. Registers. There are resonance areas in your head. So when you go to a certain level, you have to use those areas for resonance. So therefore, we release the vocal folds from extra pressure. So that will be our next video. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to talk about resonance. Now, of course, when you hear the word resonance, it will mean to you that the voice is being resonated, making it louder. And for a singer, this is important because you may be singing with a piano, singing with the orchestra, with a choir behind you, or even singing by yourself. Resonance is going to help you make your voice most beautiful. Resonance have ideal resonance and practical resonance. Ideal resonance is when you sing with perfect voice, perfect resonance, beautifying every note, every vowel, every consonant. Now that's called bel canto. Now I'm not talking about resonance for a pop singer. Pop singer, most of the time, they lip sync, or part of the time they sing. But then they use the studio to record 15, 20, 100 times, 200 times until the song is perfect, or part of the song, and then stitch them together. So when we learn to sing, we must learn to sing the whole song together so that you can develop a good breath support, good phonation. Now then we talk about good resonance. In every voice, there are basically 3 to 4 resonance areas. We call them registers. These registers are from low to high. I will talk from low first because the low affect what the high is, as you will see. The low resonance from any note, the lowest note you can ever sing, all the way to about G or A, that area, as the C, that's C area, C or B area, or down, all the way to not very high, but quite low. That range is actually what usually people talk in. When you sing higher. When you get excited, you talk louder and you talk higher, or more, because you are excited. But when you are calm down, you talk like what I'm doing. I'm talking in my lower third or lower half of my range, from low to high. Now this lowest register, we call it pharyngeal resonance, because it is placed mainly in the pharynx. Now, the pharynx is placed by a particular vowel. The characteristic of this vowel is naturally placed in the pharynx, which is ah. So using a little bit of a glottal plosive, you go ah. The This is called a pharyngeal resonance. This resonance is inconvenient because it gives you a deep sound, but yet deep voice, but yet sometimes it would easily employ your mucous membrane to grind. It will get hoarse much faster. But the second register above this, of course, it is not like divided separately. It's kind of overlap each other. The second register is what we called, singing pedagogists, we call it the soft palate resonance. The soft palate is more forward than the pharynx. So it's like in the middle of your mouth. Now you put your finger in your mouth, in the middle, about the place where you begin to gag, is where the soft palate is. The hard palate, which is more forward, has a wrinkling ceiling, a really rough ceiling. But when it gets smoother, it's a soft palate. Now, the soft palate is placed easily by the vowel or, and also the consonant of G, like a K or a G, caw or gaw. Such consonant and vowel combination will naturally place your voice in the soft palate. Anywhere from or I could say go 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 go, and then the H vowel will activate the R vowel and place in your pharynx. Ha 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 ha. And then from here, go, 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 from about E to about B. E to B around this area is the soft palate resonance. That means when you sing a song, and if you want to learn how to place that voice properly, I would suggest that you use the soft palate more than the pharyngeal area of resonance, because pharyngeal has a danger of rupturing your vocal folds. So therefore, I would teach my students to use the soft palate area even when you sing lower into the pharyngeal range. Pharyngeal range like this: go 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 go. This is easier. It's a that would be easily rupturing your vocal folds, as I have mentioned in my phonation video. Here, the soft palate is go. So when you sing any song within this range, from D to A to B, that area you should use the go vowel. I even suggest students to sing the whole song through go. Unless you get up more than a C or B or C, then you go to hard palate, which I will talk about. So go is a good vowel to use for singing any song when it is in the lower half of the treble clef. Most of you read from the treble clef, even guys, even though they sing one octave below the treble clef, because most songs are published in the treble clef. Now, soft palate, go, okay? Now, the hard palate is right here, right behind your incisors. That area is activated by the Y consonant and the O vowel. And that is also within from anywhere A to E to even F. Yo. So when you would suggest that if the notes of any song within the lower half of the treble clef, the clef that you sing from, then you use go, and above low upper half of the treble clef you use yo. So for example, Amazing Grace, I would sing go 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 go, or even sing yo, because there's no problem at all using yo, because yo is a little higher. It will in the low range. It will reach to the soft palate. So like this, yo 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 yo. Now make sure that you know that when you have you want to have good resonance, you must allow your inside of your mouth opening a little bit slightly bigger than the opening, the lips. So therefore, when you sing. When you watch singers sing, you see their lips go oh, like that. You know why? Because they need to provide a good resonance in the mouth, like this, oh, like that. So make sure you stick your lip out a little bit, but tuck in your chin like a de. Order, you are eating some order, yo, like that. Now yo is the hard palate, which is between A, B, and all the way to F. So yo 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 yo, this is F now. Yo 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 yo, go 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 yo 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 yo. These are all soft palate and hard palate. These two are the most important resonance areas, because when you do it well, you will reach higher up to the turbinate area. They call it sinus. Sinus resonance is established using a few vowels. For example, the ye, ye. Now watch me go up to F and G. Yo, now this is yo, this is a hard part. Yo, 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 yo. Now I'm activating here the resonance inside here. Now the yo is important because it rings here. Now voice vibrations, the tone of the voice, tend to seek its own resonator. Since we cannot move any muscle inside the sinus or the turbinate area, we have to then use natural quality of tones. When it is activated, ringing in your mouth, it will activate the harmonics in the air, so that you could be singing soft, but yet people from a distance can hear you. You can have a loud orchestra behind you or before you. When you sing with good resonance, even though your volume is lower, not very loud, people can hear you. That is called resonance control. Hard part is yo 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 yo. Now I will shift to turbulent yo. Now that's important. Yo 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 go 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 go. Now from B to B all the way to F and to G. So that is a range most people would have to learn how to sing in. If you sing very well in this area, you will then be able to manipulate the resonance of your voice. Then you can effect a dynamic change, very loud or very soft, like this. Yo, loud, right? Yo. Now notice I move a little bit on the E flat. I move a little bit of the resonance into my turbinate area. So when you practice a song, first of all, you must find the whole song. What is the registers involved in the melody? If it is lower half of the treble clef, use go. Upper half of the treble clef, use yo. And beyond that, go F, G, A, go to turbinate. But you have to activate these two areas first and let them ring, so that you can begin to employ the ringing sound and let it seek its own resonator up here as you sing high. So there goes, we have 1, 2, 3 register. 1, 2, 3. The fourth register is the turbinate area. The fifth here is the head tone for girls. If I sing falsetto, you may hear it. You hear it ringing here. So that's sopranos. I'm using falsetto. I will explain to you later on what falsetto actually is in a man. So women has falsetto too. When they sing to screeching up very high, they call it dolphins, squealing of a dolphin. But anyway, these are the different registers. Now, again, when you practice a song, make sure you use go in the lower half of the treble clef, use yo in the upper half of the treble clef. Okay, use it very well. Then once you start to do that, you begin to then sing the song, using go and yo to sing the song. First half and second half, low half, upper half. So learn to use that, sing the whole song through. If it's above the middle of the treble clef, you use yo. Below the middle of yo, roughly, or the middle of the register of the treble clef, then you use go and yo. Now you can go and yo the whole song through 4 or 5 times. Never stop in the middle. Sings through the whole song with an accompaniment track or a pianist. So after you sing through yo, go and yo, then you try to put in the words. Now when you learn to sing a song like Amazing Grace, Amazing Grace, you do not sing the words first. What I want you to do is to start with singing the vowels of Amazing Grace, praising them into the register of each. Say for example, the first idea, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. What you do is sing the vowels only, because you need to sustain the vowels and use extra breath to pronounce the consonants. So what you do is start from here. So go. Now go is already on the A, right? So it's almost towards the upper yo hard palate area. But I maintain the go. Go. Then put the vowels in. Now here is all soft palate using go kind of placement. Go, right here, soft palate. Then the second idea is going to employ the upper half of the treble clef, the register we called hard palate. So that is yo. Then I would, because even it crosses over to the soft palate area on F, you should still use the yo, which you have already practiced a few times. Now put the vowels in. I once was lost, but now go, but now am found. So in the next video, I will talk about diction, how you modify your vowels and consonants in order to let the audience get the word more clearly. At the same time, you are not pronouncing the word as you talk. Now here, so that you practice, use go and yo, lower half, upper half, and then put the vowels of the song in it. Then, when you sing the song, you use the same technique you use to emphasize all the vowels of each range, each register, but put in the consonants. So it goes like this. Is a glottal plosive. Glottal plosive is starts from the pharynx. So use the very light onset. Is amazing. That's not good. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Like that, you sing the whole song through. Now we learn this technique because we want to use your voice in the best, in the most beautiful way. So then when you perform, you can choose the ideal, most beautiful sound, like an opera singer or a pop singer. As a matter of fact, if you learn all this placement technique, you can analyze a pop singer. Oh, I love that pop singer. Oh, he's good. So what you do is analyze what he does with all these vowels. Then you learn to sing like him, and you maybe sell as much CDs and recording of your song. So this is how we do. Like a mechanic, I'm not going to teach you just to fix Volkswagen. I have to teach you to fix all automobiles with all the tools ready. Then when you fix any car, you can choose tools for that particular purpose. Now that's what learning to sing is about. So therefore, this tape lets you see how to effectively use registers of your voice, your resonance of each register and how to cross each other. By the way, crossing each other, that area in the middle between two registers are called passaggio. In Italian, it means passage. So passing through. Now, and then in the future, I will talk about how to modify vowels and consonants. Now, we cannot change consonants. We can modify vowels, open vowels and closed vowels, in order to make your song sound perfect. Make audience hear every word that you say. Now, pop singers do the same thing, but they use breath in a different way. So in the future, when we talk about interpretation, when we talk about any other areas of like choreography, we will work with you so that you will not compromise your singing. Most pop singers record their singing in a studio where they stand up straight and use all kind of technique, pull every stop in order to make it work. Then, and when they sing, they want to dress like a phoenix bird and show everybody how beautiful, how ridiculous they are in order to sell their record and make money of it. So, but if without a voice, you can't do it. So therefore, this tape is helping you how to do that job well. You can modify technique, use whatever you like, not use whatever you like in order to imitate or do the job that you want to do.